All right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We are at the Brownhoist building down here in Cleveland, and we are going to be joining the Brownhoistudio Masterclass, and they're doing some drawing here. We're just going to drop in on them. If you guys were with us 2 weeks ago, I'm going to be first person here. So if you guys were with us 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, we were with Bob Peck, street artist, muralist, teacher, and we're going to be giving away his signed print. But we're just going to kind of walk in on the class. They're drawing now. If you guys remember, it was a few months ago. We were down here with the Brownhoist building. We have the history behind it. Dropped in on the cider folks, and tonight we're dropping in on a live.
That might be those YouTubers, this whole thing.
We appreciate you guys allowing our community to join you here tonight, the Tuesday at 7 community. For those who don't know, we go live. We go live every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, and for the past 6.5 years, we've been dropping in, interviewing, checking out artists around Ohio, most of the time Northeast Ohio, and we appreciate you having us here. So
we had no idea you were coming.
Had no idea you were coming. I'll tell you what, Adam said I could just drop in on you, so hope you don't mind us picking over your shoulders and before I ask Lauren to draw the winner from the Bob Peck giveaway, you've been up to a few things since we've last met, Lauren. Some comedy, some...
Yeah, we're going to be learning stand-up comedy and drawing and painting and making a large sculpture that's going to be in Ohio City, probably near West 33rd in Detroit, near Rising Star Coffee Shop.
I knew that last time. That was so. This is going to kind of replace or be
the one that was by the RTA station in Ohio City.
Good. Well, yeah. We're going to keep up on that. But before we kind of jump in and take a look at not only your work tonight, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and draw.
Without looking, huh?
Yeah, without looking.
Oh, I can't cheat, huh?
We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We see you out there.
And do I read this to you?
Yeah, if you would. And I'll stick it in my pocket so I don't forget who the winner is.
All right.
Lauren, I like your t-shirt. I've got...
Thank you. I like your t-shirt. The winner's Lauren Nagy. Just kidding. Dana Jekak?
I think that's how you pronounce your last name.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so Dana, thank you for sharing, and we will get that Bob Peck signed print over to you as well. So thank you. And we encourage you guys to share tonight as well. It is really interesting that Cleveland has a number of drawing groups, artist groups that gather together. And I believe that this is probably the newest breed, right?
The newest one, but we're the most advanced. We're the Brownhoistudio masters.
We're actually robots.
Yeah.
Sent from the future.
We have artificial intelligence currently. So the name of our group also. I'm proud of the Brownhoist building, which we're in, ends in ST, and the word studio starts with ST. So we're one word, Brownhoistudio Masters. And anyway, we're on the level of the old masters, Da Vinci and Michelangelo. So we're old.
But there's a reason, because we've got some great groups, right? We've got Murray Hill, there's Dr. Sketchy, there's Pretentious Cleveland Portrait Artists, but they don't meet tonight, right?
I don't think they do. There's actually, I don't. We try Tuesday. They're not on Tuesday.
Not on Tuesday.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
So, certainly the opportunity to gather on Tuesdays. But tell us why, or what makes this group unique. Why you gathered?
Obviously, the people in it. No, we're unique in that, well, first of all, we're in this beautiful old historic building, and we're kind of doing academic type art, which probably in the days when this building was built, they did drawings like this. That was the style in those days. So
Yeah.
we're not modern artists in here. However, as a group, I'm aiming to. I want the group to solidify it. I'd like us to.
I hand that to you.
Do I hold that or?
You can hold it. Yep.
How close?
Yes, anywhere is good. Funny, don't
Don't eat it. So yeah, I'd like us to venture out from just drawing. I'm thinking of that we're going to do some long painting poses, maybe. And I don't even like to be. I don't want to be the leader of the group. I just kind of got it together. I'd really rather that we're all the leaders, very democratic, and everybody who has suggestions, we want to all do things. And I'd like the group to become more adventurous than just the typical drawing groups. Maybe in the spring or summer we'll venture out and do landscapes. Maybe we'll do figure in the landscape, portraits in landscapes. Who knows? Maybe we'll do. The possibilities are endless. I'd like to also. We want to show our work, and we've talked with Adam, the owner of this building. We might do some shows in here. And anyway, so I'd like to have a very creative group, even though we're doing something that's very academic and straightforward as portraits and figures. But yeah, so that's
Tuesdays. You're going to mix it up, right? And
yeah, we're going to mix it up. Tuesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. We are looking for people. Oh, I'm also thinking that, as we get established, I'd like to get a sort of a core member group somehow, where and then people could be walk-ins that are outsiders that want to come in and draw or paint or do meet with us. I'm also imagining that maybe we might meet and do just have creative meetings with ideas. Maybe we'll do a show out in an abandoned building somewhere, or who knows? Just all kinds of. I'd like it to be interesting. I want an interesting group here. So
yeah. So tonight we have 8 members. Is this kind of? I know that you've just begun, right? So this is probably a pretty typical night.
Actually, this is probably the largest group we've had.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have Nicole as our model tonight. In fact, I used to run a life drawing group in my old studio, and Nicole modeled there at times. So I know Nicole from the past.
Nicole, how does it feel to be modeling, and have you done sitting for other groups?
Oh yeah, I've been doing it since I was about 19.
You get is there I've only sat once, and it was for the Pretentious Cleveland Portrait Artist a few years ago. And by the time I finished, I kind of had what I called a sitter's high. I'm just kind of zoning out mentally, trying to hold a position.
Yeah.
Is there
first time sitting?
Yeah, first time sitting.
That group?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's something. About modeling. And do you have any comments about modeling?
Well, as I get older, it's harder. But I don't know. Sometimes I have to daydream because it's difficult.
Tough hold.
In general, from your modeling, how did you like the results? Did you look at it and say, "Oh, that doesn't look like me," and that doesn't look like me, or did you say, "Oh, wow, those look like"?
Over the years.
Yeah, over the years, just an average, just with their.
People, yeah, there's a lot of good people. I do a lot of portraits, do a lot of pay arts.
Uh huh.
Not a lot, but when I can. But I slow down. So.
And Lauren, I would imagine as you guys are gathering, you're probably looking for models too, right?
We're looking for models and people to join us. By the way, it's $10 a night, which enables us to pay the model and the rent for this room. This is a message to all the other drawing groups out there who participate in the what is it called?
The drawn and quartered?
Drawn and quartered. Mm-hmm. Perhaps this next year we'll compete and knock their socks off.
No more need for free radicals, right? A whole nother group here to jump in on.
Exactly.
That's the one that my old group used to do. West Side Markers still around?
Well, Drawing Quarters is an annual event, and they have these drawing groups all compete against each other.
It was West Side Markers. They changed
Yeah, West Side Market. We did it in my studio one year, but last year was in this building.
Okay.
It wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah, we haven't been to one in a few years.
Yeah.
Well, they held it right here at the Brownhoist a few months ago.
Right, that's what
Drawing
I'm
Quarter
talking
was
about.
right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a crazy event. I mean, we were up in the ballroom. It was packed. There were drawing groups and incredible talent. There was long poses and short poses. And
It's sort of a tongue-in-cheek, that we call it wrestling meets art, big-time wrestling meets art, because it's sort of competitive and everybody's yelling and there's an MC and this and that, but it's a very fun event. But there's a lot of good talent that has that's been involved in it.
We were doing it at Beck Center last time, but I don't know. They changed it now.
Yeah, well, they've done many different venues. Yeah, they did it at Beck Center. They did it at what else have they done?
78th, I think.
Yeah, they did 78th. They did it in my studio one year when I was in Ohio City.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Juan said to comment, he said 8 is a great starting number. And what I would say is everybody gets a front row spot too, right? Because sometimes when you're in drawing classes, you have to sit second or third row.
Right. So all of us are going to have
A lot of back of the heads.
Yeah.
Very dimensional.
So we should mention that all of us that are here tonight, we'll have the. Well, I'm going to include Bonnie because Bonnie has been here every time except one. But so all of us are the priority seating at this point. So next time when there's more people here, we are the front row.
Front row. Must be in the front row. In terms of what you hope for this group, besides just being eclectic and mixing things up, what about new members? What are you hoping to do?
Well, we hope to have enough members consistently to pay the model. I've been footing it a little bit here and there. We've, on nights, for example, the portrait models we pay $40, and the figures we pay $50. That's for 2 hours of sitting. So if there's only 3 people, we don't have enough to pay the model because we're charging $10. So we'd like to have at least 8 people. Sustainability. Thank you. And anyway, so that's what we're hoping for, and more than that, we would like some creative input from creative minds. I think that people, coming up with ideas and hey, let's do this and let's do that, and we need a logo. We need a anyway. I want to get us established.
More to draw.
More to draw, new models, different models, variety of models. So, yeah.
And I see a number of different mediums. See, is this a ballpoint pen?
Yeah, I think I would pen.
Yeah, I do too. It's kind of unforgiving, but you just mark it and move.
Yeah,
Good work.
it's fun. It's like, you can do more than you thought with a pen, can't you? You can touch
For
it
sure.
lightly, then you can go darker. You can do just a lot.
Yeah. How long have you been picking up a utensil or a pen and sketching folks?
I haven't did this in 40 years, and I found out about this class 4 or 5 weeks ago, so I've been doing it for 5 weeks now, after 40 years.
I tell you what, it's like getting on a bike, right? Just get back up and go, because this is great work.
Rock, I think you've been here every single one, haven't
So
you?
I've been here about 5 weeks, but I haven't did it. I went to
Actually,
school. I haven't did it since high school.
he's been here every single one more than I have. I missed a couple, 1 or 2.
And is this a weekly gathering?
Yeah, weekly on Tuesdays. Of course, we're not going to meet the day after Christmas and the day after, like the 2nd of January, we're not going to meet. And I think December 26th, I think those are both Tuesdays. We won't meet those days.
I don't think I've done live drawing since college.
Wow. And that's,
This is like some of the same charcoal from college. I picked up a computer and I was like, ooh, I like my undo button.
Well, we appreciate you coming here. Karen Murphy is watching live, and she said, are there any recommendations for starting a group? If somebody's taking a look at maybe gathering some artists for whatever reason, are there a couple recommendations that you might have, Lauren, or anyone?
For starting a group.
Yeah.
I'm not on Facebook.
Facebook, right?
Yeah.
That's how most of you found out about this gathering?
I've been friends with Lauren. Well, I've known Lauren since
Yeah.
the 80s,
Since the 80s, yeah.
but so on his Facebook page, I found out about this.
That's perfect. So you have to at least let people know what's happening, right?
Right.
You could either make friends with artists or make friends and turn them into artists, and then decide to gather.
This is a good philosophy.
Find some artists and befriend them, and gather them together, or get your family and people you already know, and stick some charcoal in their hand, and tell them that, I'm here because observation. It's like drawing really makes you look in a new way, look in a different way, and that perspective, that way of looking at things transfers into your daily life.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this is Ross Bachnick, and he's a talented artist. And what would you describe if you had to say one word, what kind of artist are you?
I'm a visionary new media artist.
Visionary new media artist. Interesting as hell. He'd make a great podcast, by the way, just alone. He's wild and anyway.
You've also been extremely supportive of.
Well, I'll tell you what would be really interesting is if everybody jumps on a Lauren's page and maybe tags yourself, or if Lauren, if you could tag some folks here as well. So that would allow folks to check, maybe some of the artists that are here too.
I'm sorry, explain that again. I'm not sure. I tagged them.
So I have you tagged.
Oh, on my phone? You want me to get on my phone?
So when this replay goes up, if you'll just go out and tag any of the artists, because since I'm not connected to these folks, it doesn't allow me to tag them to tonight's episode. All you need to do is go to comment and tag a name.
Okay, I don't know everyone's.
You don't need to do that tonight. I mean, you can just do that.
Later.
Yeah,
so I'll get everybody's
Yep.
on Facebook.
Yep.
Is anyone in here not on Facebook? You're not.
Well, what we're doing, and so for those of you who are brand new and you've not ever heard of Tuesday at 7, we've been just going live for 6.5 years and interviewing artists. We've been checking out studios and work. We've been getting in cars and driving around, and we've covered most mediums, and we've had circus performers and fine artists, and we've had musicians. Next week we're sitting down with Ventana, and they're made up of superstar musicians, and they're gathering together. I think it's 20 years since their first concert. So we're getting together with Ventana next week, and we encourage people to connect, is to collaborate, to bring together communities, to spotlight some cool stuff that's going on. So we appreciate you guys joining, for sharing this. And we also, from time to time, give away some things here as well. And so it's our intention just to make sure that folks know what's going on and share some things with artists. You mind if I take a look at some of these? So when I first walked in, I saw some quick poses, right?
Yeah.
So are these kind of those gesture poses? Because
These are 3-minute poses.
3-minute poses, like that's
I went back and touched them up a little bit, but I
Yeah?
got the gesture down in 3 minutes.
great work. Now you're
Just so we can
sketching.
warm up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Poses.
Real talent. Now I was just kind of watching your style, right? And what I mean by that is I see that you take a glance, and then you go right to the paper, and it's almost like a short glance paper, and so you're always checking your work, and probably checking dimensions and for shortening and.
I've been doing like fine for decades, so you take a snapshot in your head and you just keep comparing.
Yeah,
If you know how anatomy works, you just get the proportions down and then the angles and everything.
yeah. So it's quick work, tight. I see some charcoal, and this is probably the longer pose over here, I'd imagine as well. So
Yeah.
I'd love to see everybody's different take on it. I'm gonna step back over and.
Kind of interesting thing in the old masters, some of them used to, when they were learning in their, what were they called, their academies or whatever, drawing and painting. Some of, I think it was John Singer Sargent, used to have his students look at the model, but the drawing equipment was upstairs.
Okay.
So they would have to go look at the model, then go upstairs and remember what they saw and draw and come back down. That was an exercise in memory. And actually, when we're drawing the model now, we're looking at the model, then looking at our paper. We need to remember what we just looked at to come to the paper to put it down there. So that exercise enabled them to have a very great memory of vision that way.
That's cool. I went to a life drawing session once where it was some people who were rehearsing a musical dance play, and they were moving, they were spinning around. You had to take a snapshot of one, like them in motion, and try to draw.
Oh, and remember it as they were continuing moving.
Yeah, they were moving and just constantly drawing as many of the poses.
Oh, that's interesting.
Flipping
Wow.
around and stuff like that. That was not easy, but
No.
it's like you have to take these little quick shots and make sure they look balanced, but also they're in motion, so you get poses you can't get when people have to hold it for a long time because they can jump or they can spin, and you
Right.
just can't do that when it's a long pose. So it was a challenge, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's great. Great challenges, right? And great, and I think forcing us to be out of a comfort zone and create some skills. For just quick show of hands, anybody just been drawing for less than let's say maybe 2 years? A newer artist?
Because drawing, yes, probably.
But other artists who've been drawing for decades, right? So I mean, there's probably a range of time here.
I've been drawing flies since I was born.
That is should use the improv.
This is my stand-up comedian there coming out.
Now we're peeking over the shoulder, and looks like we've got some. Is that a kneaded eraser that you're?
Yes, I'm pulling some of the graphite out.
Did you know why they call them kneaded erasers?
Because I need it.
Right. Okay. You're ahead of me on that one.
Much needed here.
But you actually, in reality, they knead them like this. It's like gum, and you stretch it. You're kneading it, and what that does is it sort of self-cleans when it gets the charcoal in there.
And it lifts it without the same kind of crumbles, right?
Right. And I use it as a drawing tool. I sort of bring out my highlights with it. I give it a little general tone, and then I pull out highlights with the eraser. So it's sort of a drawing tool for me.
Yeah.
But I use it to correct mistakes.
And I see the same going on here, which is I really like the way that you're treating this model and the background too. It's really.
Yeah, that's a really nice drawing that he's working on there.
Yeah.
A lot of just capturing the lights and darks beautifully.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do is for anybody who shares this video, in the bottom portion of your screen, there's a share button. And if you share it, when you press that share button, it's going to coach you. You want to share it to your group, your own friends list. You want to share it to an individual. And we're going to encourage folks to share just to get the word out. But if you share, we know it. And next week we'll draw for something cool. And
basically you draw names, and then whoever you draw wins some item from the previous
Yep.
people.
Exactly right. So a couple weeks ago when we were with Bob Peck, he went ahead and signed a print, and that was a phenomenal interview, by the way. And we gave giving away his artwork today, and then next week when we're interviewing Ventana, we're going to go ahead and give away the giveaway from tonight. So
Right. So tonight, I'm offering that as a giveaway prize a portrait drawing session where someone can come over and sit and they get the drawing.
Oh.
Maybe even a small, even a little bit of oil painting.
So that's going to be a personal, Lauren?
Well, that'll be from the group
For the
or
group.
whatever. But yeah, and yeah.
Your opportunity to sit, right?
Yeah, someone will come over to my studio and sit, and I'll draw them or paint maybe a little bit of oil painting sketch, and then I'll give it to them.
Now that's a great giveaway. We'll go ahead and make sure people get that out. Well, thank you, Lauren, for having us, for letting us drop in. I know that if this is a typical Tuesday at 7, there's not going to be hundreds of people watching this, but there'll be thousands of people watching this. And thank you all for letting us peek over your shoulder, take a look at your sketch pads, for letting us to bust in, show our camera, catch your sitter, take a look at the artwork. I'm going to just spin one more time around. Man, what a great group of artists, and I love how everybody's kind of taking their own unique approach at the artwork. So thank you guys for having us here. Thank you guys for joining us live here Tuesday at 7. Make sure you share for your opportunity to sit for Lauren and perhaps for some other artists. And we appreciate you joining us here again tonight. We'll see you next week with Ventana.